Well, hey crafty friends, it's Hiedi Scott with DiyDreaming, and I'm coming live to you for the third time to do watercolor washes with Crayola markers, a plastic bag, and some watercolor paper. For this one, we're going to do a beachy theme, and we're going to use this awesome stencil from Magnolia DIY.com and some white chalk paste, and I'm going to give you a little preview. The thing with these is that they can be anything you want. So this one I think is my favorite. Let's see, this is how it goes. But I also made this one. So see, you can do any combination of colors. And I also made this one. This idea is a little bit addicting, I will confess. So tell me in the comments if you have tried it yet, if you've tried watercolor washes. The first ones we did were these. They were on Christ and Crafting on Sunday, and we made these beautiful pieces of art that have the stencil that says, "Perhaps you were created for such a time as this," Esther 4:14. So that was day one of watercolor washes. Day two, I was like, I think I can probably figure out how to do the American flag. And we did these. So today, we're gonna do beach. And I'm gonna mostly do blue, but you can do whatever color. And I was digging through my drawers here in my craft room, and I found this. And it had a really good darker blue in it. These are jumbo markers that are supposedly washable. I cannot remember where I picked them up. I didn't even realize that I had them. So I'm going to be using these and the Crayola markers. And the paper we're going to use today is this 8x8 Grumbacher 140-pound watercolor paper. So, oh my gosh, this is so much fun. As you're hopping on, tell me where you're watching from. Tell me if you have tried this yet, if you've gotten a piece of plastic or Ziploc bag out to try this watercolor wash yet. Tell me if you've tried it yet. I'm just looking to see which side I need to be on. Okay, so I'm going to use these two colors. This is from my Crayola one, and this is from the other set, from this set. But I've fiddled around with all the different colors, and I'll show you some of the other things I've fiddled around with. So, okay, so the first thing I like to do is mark off on the back side of the baggie about where you want your margins to be. And that's what I did here. Okay, this just gives you an idea of what you're doing. And I'm doing just, I don't know what to call that, just like a third, a third, a third, but this third is bigger. And I'm going to start with the dark blue. And this time we're going to do something slightly different. We are going to use a watercolor brush on the plastic before we put it on the paper. And what prompted me to try that was one or two times, I'm trying to remember which one it was, I ended up with like sharp lines on my watercolor paper that didn't come off. So I was like, I'm going to try mixing it up before I flip it over, before I flip the plastic over and push it into the paper. So anyways, okay, so I'm going to start with this dark blue. Oh, thank you for sprinkling, Elizabeth. I appreciate that. I went to the grocery store this morning, and I bought some new plastic bags, and they were like the store brand. And let me just tell you what, they aren't very good. I like the really thick, sturdy Ziploc bags, and that is what I would recommend. Don't be looking for the cheapest plastic bags, especially if you're planning to use it over and over and over again. And just so you know, you can wipe the Sharpie marker that I drew the boundaries on the back side of this baggie. You can wipe that off with the antibacterial wipe and draw a new design on there and start all over. So this is very environmentally friendly. I know plastic bags are not good, but if you can reuse them many times, then, you know, maybe they're not that bad. Okay, so I'm just getting there. I'm just laying my colors onto the plastic bag, and I'll hold it up in just a second. So I'm doing the dark blue, the turquoise, and then dark blue. You could do green though. I'm going to show you some other ones that I did that have a lot of wild colors. And I settled on this beach theme idea, just thinking that if you had 3 of these, you could almost frame them and they would be a beautiful 3 pieces of art. Okay, so this is what I've just done. And the colors look pretty similar when they're on the bag, but they are definitely different once your paper is wet. So I'm just using a crummy little crafting brush, and I think you can see okay. Well, good afternoon, Catherine. How are you doing? Okay, so I've just got some water on my brush, and I'm basically, oops, that's too much, just going to get the markers to start doing their thing. And they become watery really quick, and then we'll do some blending. Okay, so this is the 3rd section. And when I do it this way, you're not really gonna see 3 distinct sections. But I'm gonna now, let's see, I need a paper towel. I am going to kind of blend the bottom 1/3 in with the middle 1/3 a little bit. I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay, so this is what it looks like. Ooh, this is what it looks like now. All right, so I'm not going to spray my plastic this time. This time I'm just going to spritz my paper a little bit, and we'll be lifting and spritzing with water as we go along. Okay, so I just put a little bit of water on my paper, and it is watercolor paper. It's 140-pound weight. Mine is Schumacher brand. It's not fancy. It's from Walmart. And I'm really liking these square pieces. They're 8 by 8. And, okay, if it would actually look like this when I pulled it up, then I would just stop right there. But it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to peek under this corner, and I can see that I want to spritz a little bit here. And then I'm just going to push it. Instead of using my finger, I'm just kind of pushing it to get it to, I don't know, go into the paper. Whoops, okay, and I just pushed it out the side, and that's perfectly fine. Okay, so let's go to the middle section now, and this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can really tell. This is the same deal as both other days that I did watercolor washes with you. the more water you have, the more watercolory it'll look, but also the more bleedy kind of things that you'll have. Okay, now I'm going to lift the top and spritz the top. And as it's wanting to squish out of my bag, I'm just grabbing that excess water. Okay, and I'm thinking that this may be it. So let me pull it up. And when it's dry, you'll be able to see the color differences a little bit better. But I'm going to let some of these runs do a little running. And then I'm going to just poke a teeny little paper towel in the big puddles to soak up some of the So as you're hopping on, tell me where you're watching from. Feel free to sprinkle if you think this is a fun project. And I think this would be super fun to do during the summer with your kids, grandkids, nieces and nephews, or with a VBS, Vacation Bible School group, or and any age pretty much could do something like this, even somebody in their 50s, like me. Okay, so this is what it looks like. And I'm going to get my, first thing I'm going to do is wipe off my, I might just plunk this down, upside down one final time to see if I can get a little bit more definition up here at the top. Ooh, that's kind of cool. It looks almost like waves or something. This kind of project is totally addicting. Cheryl Horn says that she wants to do this project with her grandsons. I think that would be fabulous. And I think they would love it. And I don't think doing art is girly, so they could choose whatever colors they want and, you know, make what they want. Okay. Last time I got my blow dryer out to dry my project, I blew everything off the table. So I'm going to not have that happen again. Put things kind of out of the way. And let's see, where did I put it? Here it is. So I'm going to dry it. And then I have some other ones over here to show you. And we're going to do this beach theme of these awesome seashells. I'm using white chalk paste, but you of course could use black, gray, you know, whatever color makes you happy. These are gonna fly away if I don't move them. Oops. dry by itself, but I'm so impatient. There's no way I can do that. Look how beautiful that is. Isn't it awesome? Okay, some of the other ones that I have been just fiddling around on and off all afternoon. This is one that I made that we're going to do something with, and this is a combination of green and blue and that turquoise color. This one is much lighter, and this is just mostly the turquoise with a little bit of blue in the bottom corner. This is a crazy one that has a lot of colors, and honestly, I don't really like the pink combined with this. Here's a really psychedelic looking one. And then these are the ones I showed you at the start. For me personally, I am liking this look the best. But I like plain. I don't know, I tend to like plainer things. Okay, also, I was fiddling around with this stencil right here. This is a brand new one, but I was using my other pieces. It's called Proverbs 31. It's been out of stock for a while, but it's coming back into stock on Wednesday, tomorrow, the 1st, yeah, I think, the 1st of June. So I did some different looking things, and I just stenciled. I put that stencil on them. And I'll get pictures of everything. Every single thing just looks amazing. But if I was doing a collection of maybe 3 of these, I would do them in this plainer, just the 2 colors of blue. So let me show you how you do the stenciling. It's really easy. Really, really, really easy. I'm using my Every Seashell Tells a Story set from MagnoliaDIY.com from a couple of summers ago. And the pieces are starting to look kind of crummy, and I didn't put this one back on right because I love it and I've used it a lot. I used it a lot the summer before last summer, and I've already used it quite a bit this summer. This is a conch shell. Here's a scallop. Here's a little starfish. This, I think, is called a triton, something like that. I wrote pointy shell. And then there is this one, which is another kind of a conch looking shell. And then there's the words, Every Seashell Tells a Story, which I cut mine apart into littler pieces. But, so what I'm going to do is we're just going to try a couple, and then we'll see what we think. Okay, so I had these 2 on this one, and I think I'm going to do the big conch shell, this one on here. I need to decide what do I want. I think I want this to be the bottom. Okay, so they come on this backing sheet. These stencils, if you've never watched this this DIY Dreaming page before, these are reusable many, many, many times. They're adhesive, they're mesh, so they're super detailed, and they're really easy to work with. And I'm going to fuzz this just a teeny bit because I'm going on paper, but you could use the actual tacky towel that Magnolia has to do that. You could use a pair of pants, a pair of jeans, any kind of a fabric that is not doesn't have a ton of fluff and stuff on it, fibers. And I'm going to turn my fan on because I'm having the mid-afternoon hot flash, which is not nice. These start out super sticky And if you don't remove a little bit of that stick, they can pull up your paper or your paint. So for the first few times, just make sure you fuzz them really well. And this is chalk paste in white. And I'm just gonna get a little stir stick. This stuff lasts forever. Well, it doesn't last forever, but it lasts a really long time. And when it has a tendency, because it's made out of sodium bicarbonate. It's made from a stone. So it has a tendency to want to kind of go back to a hard consistency, but you can, with distilled water, you can spritz a little bit. That's what I have in this. Spritz a little bit in it, stir it up, and put your cap back on it good. And it will last a long time. It just needs a little tender love and care. Okay, so now I'm just going to push this white chalk paste through the holes on my stencil. Easy, easy, easy. And I'm going to resist the urge that I always have to keep going over it. I don't know why I have that urge, but I think a lot of people do. What happens when you do that is you can push some of your medium underneath the stencil and it looks fuzzy. The other thing is you can make a mistake and end up outside of the stencil. So this is what it looks like. And having a hard time getting a hold of it. Ooh, and this is pretty light. Let's see, I'm gonna try something. I guess maybe I was moving too slowly. Let's try again and see if we get a better result. It's a little bit better, and it looks fine to me. I don't know how well you'll be able to see this on the camera. I may come back after it's fully dry and stencil it one more time with more white. But these are the two that I've done so far. It's more visible in person than as I'm looking at the camera. Okay, let's do one more. Let's do this one. And let's just do a starfish right in the center. I think that'll be really cute. This one I've used quite a bit. It probably didn't need to be fuzzed at all. So when I'm all finished, I'll hop off, and if anyone wants links to chalk paste or stencils, or if you have questions, don't hesitate to ask. I'll sit down and read everything that you guys have been saying. I do read all my comments, so it's just hard to read and craft at the same time, so I don't get to see all the comments as I'm going along. This one's much better. This is really cute. I'm going to give a couple of these away, and I'll probably make some more. So if you will sprinkle this video to your social media, to your Facebook page, today, sprinkle this video, then I will choose some names that sprinkled at random, and I'll let you know tomorrow, and I'll autograph them and send a few of these out, because they really are so different. So this is one that I made before I came live, that big conch shell. This is a scallop, and what I wanted to point out with that is I added a teeny bit of gray chalk paste in there, and I think you can see that. And then this was the one that I also did before I came live. So let's, oops, good thing I didn't mess that up. I laid it down upside down. Let's do one more. And I want to show you what it would look like if you chose a dark color. So I'm going to do this one and I'll do it in a gray. Let's do the scallop. Okay, so this is the gray that Magnolia has. Really does not take very much at all. Okay. Wow. I might come back and do a shadow technique on the ones I've already done in the gray color because look how amazing that looks. All right, well, that's what we were doing today. And I will be concluded with all of the plastic bag tutorials, the watercolor washes, for a little while. Let me just review real quick so you can see what they look like, and I'll just real quick tell you what the instructions are. And then let me know in the comments if you want a link to anything. Just say link. Okay, so the first time I did watercolor washes was this past Sunday for Christ in Crafting. And these were strictly Crayola markers that I used for these. And this is just a 9x12 piece of watercolor paper, same brand, that Grumbacher, also from Walmart. And so I did these and I was like, wow, they are fabulous. Then the next day, I was determined to figure out how to use this technique to make crosses. Hey, and by the way, what do you guys see in the blue part here? One of my followers, Miss Pamela Sinclair, we were talking on the phone and she said, oh my gosh, you gotta find the one that has the cross in it. And I laid them all out and immediately my eyes went to this cross right here. And I laid them all out later that night and I asked my husband, what do you see when you look at these? And he immediately went to this. So I don't know if you can see it, but I do. And that was just a happy, accident. And then today I showed you these crazy but beautiful ones I made, and I used this stencil. It's called Proverbs 31 and it's been out of stock for a while, but it's supposed to be coming back tomorrow, Wednesday the 1st of June, I believe. So I did those, and then this was one that I did before I came live. This one I did live. These I did before I came live. And this is with the gray chalk paste. So I don't know, tell me what you think. Do you like the black chalk paste? Do you like the gray? Or do you like the white? And we just used, I don't know where my plastic bag is now. Oh, here it is. We just used a plastic bag and some markers. These are kids' markers, actually. And we drew on our bag, and then we spritzed it. And we spritzed our paper, which the paper looks like this. It's watercolor paper. We flipped it over on top of a piece of that and just pushed it in, moved it around a little bit, and that is how you do a watercolor wash. So, Lisa says that she thinks the white looks the best. What do you guys think? Elizabeth, I'll get you the link for the Proverbs stencil, but it won't be in until tomorrow. Probably in the later afternoon. Jay says she really likes the ones with the verses. I do too. But I was in a beach mood. Obviously, you can kind of tell that by my colors and by all the seashells that I used. Okay, Sandra Stokes says that she likes the gray. Carol Bittner says she likes the white. Carolyn Wilson likes the gray. So does Elizabeth. Ooh, I want to know what you guys think. So keep telling me in the comments, whether you're watching this live or later on replay, tell me which color chalk paste you like better. And let me know if you want links. Feel free to ask other questions. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Do a this, or say something to me in the comments. Check to make sure that you have liked and followed this page, and I hope to see you tomorrow. I don't know what we'll be doing, but we will not be doing any crafts that involve plastic bags or markers. We'll do something different. 3 days is probably long enough, but oh my goodness, this is the funnest, easiest, most unique, I think, technique that I've done in a while. I think a shadow effect would be awesome too. I'm gonna try that after I'm all finished. Alrighty, you guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow, I hope, here at DIY Dreaming. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you then.